We got ourselves a new week. It is the last week of May.
Yes.
May the 27th, it's Monday. Come on in, here's what we're working on this morning. Scientists warn climate change is changing the type of insects and diseases that they bring into Ontario.
A pro-Palestinian encampment at Hamilton's McMaster University is over.
And Bruce Springsteen has canceled several shows over vocal issues. And look who we welcome to the show today. Hello, Shelley Marriage.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Very good.
In for Brian today, who's off for the week, getting a little sleep in.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Everybody, that was a general question.
Very good, very good.
Whoever wants to answer.
Yeah, very nice.
Did you get woken up to any pitter patters on your windows and your roofs last night?
I did some lightning as well.
Yeah. It was windy this morning, though.
Yeah.
Wow, was it windy?
Yeah,
Yes.
some thunderstorms too tore through our area. But all cleared up now, Shelley?
Well, there's still a chance of that happening until at least the afternoon.
Nice. Okay.
Good times.
Yeah, baby. Well, listen, like pretty nice weekend. Yesterday was perfect.
Yesterday
Nice.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in Niagara. I should say this. Shout out to Tintern Road and Jack Stiles and Jack and Steve and everybody who had a fashion show yesterday, sporting some of their new gear. It was so weird because in Niagara it was foggy.
It was foggy in Hamilton yesterday morning.
Then I was driving back from Niagara and then through Hamilton. There was just this low-level fog that was just kind of around the whole area. It was really odd because then the sun was trying to push through and burn that off, but yeah, kind of neat.
It's wild city to city. You just don't know what you're going to expect. Yeah.
That's why we have you here.
Yeah, there you go. I'll do my best, at least, Annette. But we will start with traffic right now, and we'll have a look at our exclusive camera along the 403. This is heading through the Watered Down Road area from the junction. Now, the camera was really shaking earlier, so it is quite windy out there still. Let's have a look at a few more MTO cameras now, and we'll take a look along the QEW stretch at the junction there, looking good. And it doesn't seem to be raining as of yet, but as I mentioned, there's still a risk of some showers and thunderstorms for the rest of the morning and the afternoon as well over the Burlington Skyway Bridge. No problems in either direction, but remember, it's windy out, so 2 hands on the wheel. That's it for now. Back to news.
Thanks very much, Shelley. Well, research suggests warming weather has increased the risk of insect-related diseases in parts of the province. Simone Gavros joins us from Hamilton's Bayfront Park with more.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, scientists are concerned that climate change is helping ticks expand their habitat across Canada, meaning that they're more active and likely to live longer. And this applies to ticks that are carrying tick-borne diseases such as Lyme disease. Now, this means that there are federal reports that are tracking Lyme disease across the country. And they show that they have been nearly 20,000 cases of Lyme disease between 2009 and 2023. Numbers have risen exponentially over the years, with 266 cases in 2011 to just over 3,000 cases 10 years later in 2021. Black-legged ticks, also known as deer ticks, are the only known tick that can transmit Lyme disease. They can be found all over the Hamilton, Halton, and Niagara region in wooded areas or in tall grass, according to Public Health Ontario. The most common tick found in our area is the American dog tick, which can't transmit Lyme. Now, warm weather is also allowing exotic mosquito species to gain a foothold in parts of the province. Those mosquitoes can carry a range of illnesses, including malaria, dengue, and yellow fever, usually in warmer climate. Now, if you do find a tick on yourself, you're asked to remove it immediately as close to the skin as possible and contact your local public health unit for the next steps. But for now, I'll send things back over to you, Tim.
Okay, we'll get to Tim in just a moment. Well, Ontario's Privacy Commissioner is set to publish a special report about the use of non-government emails and deleted messages related to the Doug Ford government's Greenbelt plans. In late 2022, the government removed land from the protected Greenbelt to build 50,000 homes. But those plans were dashed after months of public outcry and reports from both the Auditor General and the Integrity Commissioner that found the process favored certain developers. developers. NDP leader Marit Stiles asked the commissioner to investigate the reported use of personal phones and emails by the premier and government staff members. In a letter from the commissioner released by the NDP, Patricia Kosim says her office is working on 19 active access to information appeals that are similar to the concerns that Stiles raised. The RCMP has also been investigating the Greenbelt removal process.
Let's get to international news in the Middle East. And Gaza's health ministry says 35 people were killed last night after Israel struck an area in Rafah's housing refugees. The strike took place in western Rafah, where thousands of people were taking shelter after being forced out of their homes in other parts of Gaza. The Israeli military says their Air Force struck a Hamas compound and that the attack used, quote, price ammunition on the basis of precise intelligence. They say the incident is under review. Now, the head of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency says that images coming from the refugee camp are, quote, deeply disturbing and horrifying. Last week, the International Court of Justice ordered Israel to immediately end its military operation in Rafah, saying the risk to civilians was too great.
The investigation into a shooting at a Jewish girls' school in Toronto continues this morning. Police say just before 5 o'clock on Saturday morning, multiple rounds were fired, apparently targeting the elementary school. No one was hurt, but the school was damaged. Toronto police are looking for 2 people in a dark-colored vehicle parked near the school that morning.
We're not going to ignore the obvious, of what has occurred here and what the target of the shooting was. But at the same time, it would be wrong to just guess at this point.
Several Jewish groups say the incident highlights the escalation of violence the community has faced since the onset of the Israel-Hamas war. The City of Toronto's Hate Crime Task Force will be assisting in the investigation. Pro-Palestinian protesters who've been camped out at the University of Toronto for weeks say they're going to hold a rally this morning in defiance of a trespass order issued by the university. The U of T has said the protesters have to clear the site by 8 this morning. And yesterday, officials with the school indicated that they would seek a court injunction if they don't pack up. Organizers say they plan to hold their ground and will hold a rally alongside the Ontario Federation of Labour to force the school to meet their demands. The two sides met yesterday afternoon, and protesters presented what they describe as a counteroffer that calls on the school to disclose public investments in companies that are profiting from Israel's offensive in Gaza. Meantime, McMaster students protesting Israel's war against Hamas packed up their encampment at the university over the weekend after the school announced that an agreement has been reached with them. That agreement includes developing a human rights framework for international agreements and allocating up to $200,000 for Palestinian academics and students under Scholars at Risk and Students at Risk programs. The students were calling on the university to divest from any Israeli organization with ties to the war. McMaster didn't go that far, but did say they'll create an annual report that details their investments. The students say they'll now work to make sure the school lives up to its promises.
Okay, Sportsline. Busy Sunday. Let's start with Game 4 of the PWHL Final for Minnesota. It went down last night, where the home team had a chance to win the first ever Walter Cup. And we have to go to double overtime for the first goal of the game and when the craziness begins.
Taylor Heisey on the outside. Heisey draws it in, cuts in front, loose puck, and she scores! Sophie Jakes, your Walter Cup hero!
Yeah, Minnesota's Sophie Jacks scores the championship goal. As top pick, Taylor Heisey carried the puck to the net and crashed into the Boston goalie, Aaron Frankel. Let the celebrations begin for the team and the fans. But hold on a second. The play was sent under review for goalie interference. And after the review, the goal was disallowed. So the players, they have to pick up all their equipment, their gloves littered all over the ice and get back to it. And on the very next shift, Boston's Alina Mueller would end it in shocking fashion and head straight to the locker room and back to Boston, because we have ourselves a fifth and deciding game in the PWHL final after Boston's improbable 1-0 win. So the fifth and deciding game happens Wednesday night.
Off the face-off. Gustafson, they score!
We also had overtime in the Eastern Conference Final in the NHL in Florida, where the Rangers' Alex Wenberg deflected home the game winner just over 5 minutes into the extra frame to lift New York to a 5-4 win and a 2-1 series lead over the Panthers. Second straight overtime win for the Rangers after tying the series on Friday night. Game 3 in this one goes down tomorrow. In the West Final, Edmonton hosts Dallas tonight with the series locked at a game apiece.
And the 3-2. Fly ball left field. And this game is over.
Yeah. A heartbreaker for your Blue Jays. This time in Detroit, Jordan Romano served up a walk-off 3-run homer to Matt Verling in the bottom of the ninth to lift the Tigers to the 14-11 win and take 3 of 4 from Toronto. It was the most runs the Jays have scored this season, and they came back from 5-0 and 8-3 down and still lose. Fell 6 games below 500. They head to Chicago for an afternoon affair on this Memorial Day down south against the White Sox.
The Gafford screen against Gobert, tailed by McDaniels. Gafford! Up high, down hard, and a foul!
Yeah, good sounds for Dallas sports fans with their Stars in the West Final of the NHL and their Dallas Mavericks now a win away from the NBA Finals after a huge win over Minnesota in Game 3 of the West Final. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, they were a two-headed monster, both scoring 33 points as Dallas has pushed the T-Wolves to the brink, 116-107. Now have a 3-0 stranglehold in this series. They can book their ticket into the final tomorrow in Game 4. Yeah, Sunday was the biggest day in racing with the Indianapolis 500. What a finish with Joseph Newgarden. Overtook Pato O'Ward to win the 108th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. Second straight win. First time that has happened since 01-02. And just like last year, leaped into the stands to celebrate with them before taking down a big jug of milk, as is the tradition.
And we'll check traffic right now along the 403 through the Burlington-Hamilton area. Not aware of any problems. Now, there is still a chance of some showers this morning and for the early afternoon. Let's have a look at a few more MTO cameras now. And we're heading out along the Burlington Skyway Bridge. It's windy out there, so remember, 2 hands on the wheel. In Hamilton, the Lincoln Alexander Parkway was closed this weekend, scheduled to reopen at 4 a.m. this morning. We're crossing our fingers on that. I know it caused quite heavy delays in and around Hamilton. Again, the link closed for the weekend, but should be reopened this morning. We'll certainly keep you posted as soon as we get confirmation on that. And here's a quick look at the 403 at the junction. Not seeing any problems. Weather-wise, our current temperatures ranging from 19 to 21 across the Golden Horseshoe, the GTA. We do have showers in some areas, a risk of thunderstorms for the morning. You can see all of that happening here. Our radar loop, this takes us back 5 to 6 hours, and then by the afternoon, as I mentioned, just a slight chance of showers. Everything should clear up around 3 or 4 p.m. so for the afternoon drive. And if you're heading out the door this morning, you can expect a 40% chance of showers, windy conditions. Quite mild though, 19 degrees, so not too chilly out this morning, although it is a windy one. And today we'll get up to a high of 21, which is the seasonal average. We'll have a low of 13. 5 to 10 millimeters when all of the showers are done with us, and those gusty winds out of the west at 50K. That's it for now for traffic and weather. Back to the desk.
All right, thanks, Shelley. Oh, there she is. Hello, Emily Vukovic.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Hi. Do you guys remember Napster?
Definitely.
Yeah. Remember stealing music?
Well, they changed the music industry.
It sure did, and there's a new documentary coming out, and we're going to chat about that. Speaking of music industry, Bruce Springsteen had to postpone some tours because of some health issues.
Again, eh? This is the second time.
I know. And we're going to talk about the Home Alone house, which I know came out last week, but I think it warrants a little chat.
Okay.
We'll see you at the couch in a little bit. Coming up after the break, we'll get into some business news on this Monday morning to get your week started. And Toronto researchers say they've got a tool to tell us if we're listening to a robot or a human. See you in 2 minutes. Am I a robot? We will find out.
Or a human.
Hey, Hey, 6:16 on your Monday. Here's some numbers for you. The Canadian dollar is up 4 basis points this morning, sitting at 73.23 cents U.S. Gold up $12, 23.4650. Crude oil up 24 cents, 77.96 a barrel. Off to Europe. Hey, Europe. Markets are up in London, or down in London, up in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were up today in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Checking North American markets on Friday, the TSX gained 120 points. The Dow was up 4, and the Nasdaq rose by triple digits.
Glad you're here on this Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's get into some business news, and this is an interesting one because a research lab in Toronto says they have found a way to tell whether it's a human or a machine behind most audio clips. Now, Click's health research arm used a method based on 5 vocal biomarkers that artificial intelligence generated audio doesn't do. So these biomarkers are features embedded in human voices that tells us things about the speaker's health or physiology. That cannot be things like pausing, taking breaths, or gasping, or words. Click has had an 80% success rate when trying to identify deep fakes, including AI-produced video, audio clips, or photos. But they say the task is only getting harder as AI improves.
Canada is looking into increasing tariffs on electric vehicles that are imported from China after a huge tax hike by the United States earlier this month. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his trade and industry ministers are investigating the idea as China's automakers look at the North American market. While Chinese EVs are currently not a big player in our market, imports from China have exploded in the last year since Tesla switched its Canadian sales from U.S. factories to its manufacturing plant in Shanghai.
A lawyer representing Red Lobster's Canadian operation says he will ask an Ontario court to recognize the company's current U.S. bankruptcy protection case. Link Rogers says the application to the Ontario Superior Court of Justice will ask to enforce the restaurant chain's Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the U.S. Red Lobster Canada runs 27 restaurants in Canada and is listed as a related debtor in the U.S. proceedings. So last week, a court granted the company a stay in proceedings, which prevents creditors from taking action against it. The chain says it will continue to operate during the bankruptcy proceedings, but they've already shut down dozens of locations right across the U.S.
Nigeria's government is cracking down on illegal mining, making dozens of arrests of unlicensed miners since April. They are accused of stealing lithium. It is a critical mineral that's used in batteries for electric vehicles, smartphones, and power systems. There are a lot of illegal mines in the country's fledgling industry because corruption among regulatory officials is common, and also because the mineral deposits in Nigeria are located in remote areas with minimal government presence. Officials say profits from illicit mining practices have also helped arm militia groups in the north of Nigeria.
For the first time ever, the bird flu has been found in beef. But the U.S. Department of Agriculture says the meat didn't make it into the nation's food supply. The USDA says viral particles of H5N1 were discovered during a routine part of their inspection process. Officials contacted the owners of the cow in question, and a probe into the herd where the bovine came from is underway. Now, samples from dozens of other cows that were condemned for illness tested negative. Additional testing is underway. The virus has been found in dairy cattle in 9 states and in milk. It has also prompted the slaughter of millions of chickens and turkeys. But its presence in beef that's a new development for the outbreak, which began in 2022.
Going to take a quick break right now. Shelley's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Good morning. Well, a bit of a wet and windy drive for you this morning. Here's a look at the 403 at the junction. Appears to be problem-free. QEW moving quite well through the Burlington area, a little bit further eastbound as you make your way around the 4 plant. You can see the roads are a bit wet, but problem-free as well. And some good news in town in Hamilton. The Lincoln Alexander Parkway has reopened as scheduled. Had it closed for the weekend for maintenance, but things are getting back to normal in Hamilton, heading up and down from the the Hamilton Mountains. 7-day forecast. So here we go. 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. Everything should taper off for the afternoon drive. We'll have a high of 21, which is seasonal, an overnight low of 13. Windy conditions continue tomorrow with a 40% chance of some showers. A high of 20, 11 overnight. Then a little bit on the cooler side Wednesday. A high of only 17. Mostly cloudy skies. Overnight lows of 8 Wednesday and Thursday. We are getting back into some high pressure Thursday, which will bring us dry conditions, lots of sunshine Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday being the first day of June, very nice. A high of 23, an overnight low of 11. Then we have a high of 23 on Sunday. Sunday, there's a 60% chance of showers and 14 overnight. But again, with the 7-day, you know, that can always change. That's it for now for me. Back to you, Annette and Tim.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, what a picnic yesterday in Paris. Thousands enjoyed a free meal prepared by some of Paris's top chefs along the Champs-Élysées.
Roughly 4,000 people sat along the avenue near the Arc de Triomphe using a tablecloth that was nearly 200 meters long. They were chosen in a draw for the event, which comes exactly 2 months before the Summer Olympics and the opening ceremonies in Paris. So they ate chicken sandwiches, cookies, and lemon tarts, all packed into a picnic basket provided by organizers. The goal? To show that the area isn't just for expensive shopping.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because when you walk along that street, it's all like the very, very high-end luxury stores. Yeah.
Okay, so where is the Eiffel Tower compared to this area? I've only been to Paris once, and it was a quick little visit.
It's kind of at the other end.
Okay, so it's not close to that.
It's across the river.
Okay. And that's why I'm looking forward to the Olympics, because it just profiles the city so
many
well,
beautiful spots.
And how they're going to be lighting everything up and showing everything off and all the different venues and things like that. So it's we're 2 months away. So we know that our athletes are already up and have been probably for a couple hours preparing to get ready for the Olympic Games coming up. Okay, a little bit of rain last night. A little bit of rain, as Shelley mentioned in the forecast on this Monday. We'll let you know what else is going on. Coming up right after this.